You only missed one vowel sound.
Mhm.
There's a lot of button. I actually, right before we started, by the way, that was a pretty smooth transition. Um,
Wasn't it?
I was getting everything ready. I was like, okay, because dude, you do a lot. You really do a lot. And you've been kind of running this thing. I've been able to just kind of slide in at the last minute. I'm like Conan O'Brien. Do you know that he does that? Conan O'Brien, before every show, apparently, they will be like, and those Conan O'Brien, like they'll be announcing him, and he'll be in his like bathroom, and everyone's just freaking out, going, "We're calling for you on stage," and he always comes out right on time. But
Oh,
he
okay.
loves making people panic.
Well, that's better than him parking it at that time and be like, "Hey,
He
you're
may
supposed to be on
have at some
stage."
point, and the band's just still vamping or something. But I've been able to kind of slide in. I was like, this is easy. I was like, today I was like, oh my god, I need to get my shit together a little bit. So hey, I made it past the minute mark.
There you
So
go.
I was getting everything ready, and I was like, oh man, I've got to get this done, and I had a nice big fresh cup of coffee parce que je bois du café le matin tous les jours, and I went bip and just knocked over
Ooh,
this cup of coffee all over everything. Fortunately, I was like, I should have some towels in here, just to like dust everything
that's a
off.
nice
And so I got
foresight.
I got this whole nice bin of towels, and I was like, that was some prophetic shit right there. And so I just cleaned up coffee. But then it's like coffee smells so good
Not
unless
when
it's
it's
been
spilled.
like, yeah, unless it's old. And then it
Mhm.
smells like somebody peed in this room. It's like it could be like, this is really good coffee, I think. Some New Yorker would be like, that's shit coffee, but I think it's really good coffee. And it is just like, I need to light some candles in here, is what I'm saying. Like, and I cleaned, like I use like a
Ooh, yeah.
cleaner and everything.
You need to get some coffee scented candles. Cancel out the smell.
But like fresh coffee
Mhm.
scented candles. Isn't it
Yeah.
interesting that like coffee beans, like if you've ever like gone through like if you ever want to cleanse the palate of your nose,
Yeah,
whatever
you get
that's,
like a little bit of it and just like,
you take coffee and it like
yeah.
freshens your scent. I was like, it's like if you ever like want to smell like cologne, if you're like trying to choose what cologne or what perfume you should do, back in the old world when we did those things.
Mhm.
Um,
Now we all smell like shit.
I'll kind of smell it, but we wouldn't know because we're wearing a mask. Wear a mask.
Mhm.
Um, oh my God, that's about all I can vamp. Greetings, fellow
Um,
storytellers. Um, there's been you guys have been really really cool. I've been checking the little. I probably should have played better. We put up that Miles Morales video, and it's like people are really watching. I was like, oh man, I'm
yeah,
playing.
people are liking that video.
They are, but I mean, because it's me being a goof, I guess,
Oh
and
yeah, I mean like
people.
that's sometimes even better
But
because
it's so
like
funny.
you're
People
enjoying it.
automatically they just go, this isn't Troy Baker. It's like, why is it impossible to believe that the person
I
who's
saw
on
that there was a
screen
comment
is
like,
actually
"Is this a
me?
deep fake?"
Yeah, dude. Somebody asked us like, "Is this a deep fake?" I'm like, "Why? Why would somebody look? If you got a deep fake, I mean, go for it. I don't care.
Mhm.
I don't just make it creative. That's all that I ask for."
Well,
Um,
it's hard to copy you. You change your outfit every day.
it's true. Look at this. I don't even know what's going on anymore. We'll see what happens. I have to do. There's potentially a shoot that I have to do in the 1st of December, and I don't think they're gonna make me shave it. But if they're like, "Hey man, you need to get rid of that beard," I'm like, "Oh, this is for religious reasons. You can't ask me to do it for that." Speaking of creative stuff, man, did you see the
What a
thing that
great
Kelly
segue.
posted? Kelly posted
Um,
an amazing writing piece that is just
mhm.
like, every time I think, all right, she's really cool and she's really talented, she goes, hold my beer. Like goes over the top. She released, if you don't follow her, what is her social security card number?
Yeah,
What
what was it?
it's I should know
It's
this.
Kelly Wildcat.
Yeah. Kelly, KELLIEH Wildcat. I should put that up on text. At Kelly Wildcat. She's an incredible artist, and she's probably making new pillows that she can bury herself underneath right now as I'm saying this. But she posted this incredibly poignant piece today, a very personal piece that she was going to share in Writer's Room. And the Writer's Room, I don't even think she was in this week. And we're taking this next week off. We'll talk about that in a second. And then she just decided to share this incredible personal piece. If you haven't read it, I don't want to in any way diminish the brilliance of the writing that she did. So go read it. Go follow her. Read her work. She also has, I think she has a store up where you can buy her artwork. We have so many people in this community that do that. I think Lily's doing that as well, and it's an incredible time to do that. If you want to support some artists, there's a lot of people that we know in this community that really depended upon pop culture events
You got it.
to really make up a large source of their income. Like Undead Gaming, we were talking to them. They were used to doing like all the MCM shows because they're based in the UK. We showed this week that we're doing special relator branded controllers. All of the money is going straight to Undead Gaming. And a portion of the proceeds is actually going to be going to a charity that we're going to be talking about later on, hopefully this week, if not next. It exploded. This idea that we had, it exploded, and there's an incredible charity that I became aware of that's specific to the UK, and we're getting a whole bunch of people now involved, and we're going to do something special for the holiday season. But we'll put the link up soon as I get it from Undead Gaming. But Lou and Kay, there's so many tangents. Just follow with me, guys. 3 weeks ago, Lou was like our spirit animal for the community. Really, like gaming is their bag. Like that's how they cope. And PS4 controller broke. Fucking bummer. So we tweeted out to the community, was like, hey, who's got a spare PS4 controller that Lou can borrow? And Kay, of course, jumped in and was like, I can be of assistance. And she rushed in and sent Lou her PS4 controllers, so Lou could play. I reached out to Undead Gaming. I was like, hey, here's an opportunity. Can you make two? They made these badass retro replay ones for me. They make incredible Xbox, PS4, Switch controller. They're awesome. I was like, can you do some? And they're not like just wraps. These are like hand painted, incredible artisanal controllers, if there are such a thing. And Colin at Undead Gaming was like, dude, absolutely. Sent me the proof. I was like, that looks even cooler than I could possibly think. We sent out those two controllers. We put up a video this past week, kind of like the unboxing video of those. And then we're going to continue to make those. We're not making any money off those. That's going straight to Undead Gaming, and then also this charity that we'll talk about later on this week. So that's a cool creative thing that happened this week. Callie's writing was incredibly cool. Yesterday, we got to watch. Did I skip over anything? Was I going to say something else? I feel like I was going on.
Miles Morales came out.
Miles Morales. That was kind of creative. That was just me being a goof. But yesterday, we got to watch Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And I think it was Kay that put this up. No, it was Ash. So we got to watch the 89 cult classic. And I went, is it a cult classic or is it just a classic?
It's a classic.
But I appreciated the take. So yesterday we got to watch, if you don't know what we're talking about, every Saturday we get together to watch a movie. It was like the first, I tried to do a whole bunch of different pieces of content. Everyone was like, nah. And then we were like, fuck it, we're going to watch a movie together. And everyone was like, yay. So we get together every Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. GMT. If you're not in one of those three time zones, figure it out. 1P, 4P, 9P. And we all watch a movie together. And it is ranged everywhere from, we started off with the entire Matrix franchise. That was probably too long. We spent 4 weeks watching The Matrix. We've done the Kurosawa classic Seven Samurai. We've done The Godfather. We've done Shawshank Redemption. We've done
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse, which was 2 weeks ago. We've done Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. We've done all these incredible movies, and it's always the movies chosen organically because we'll go, that's kind of like in that movie, Godfather. Like, I've never seen The Godfather. I used to be super prideful and arrogant and would not admit that I had seen certain movies. And people were like, the second that I did, people were like so excited that they get to be with me the first time that I get to see whatever classic movie. So we invite you to be brave enough to say, I've never seen this classic that everyone just assumes you're born having seen, like you watched it in the womb or something. So tell us what you haven't seen, and let's see if we can't throw it up on the old reels. I don't know. So that's
Close
every
enough.
Saturday. And yesterday we got to watch Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, which I've seen
Yes, the cult classic by
the
Steven Spielberg.
by that indie director, um, Steven Spielberg.
Mhm.
Speaking of directors, damn, holy crap!
Now that's a good
Did I
segue.
just do a cool segue? Oh my gosh, it feels like I did a segue. We have with us the one and only. Am I going to over Britishise your last name if I go Bellum?
You're relatively close.
How should I say
It's,
it?
How is it?
it's Balaam.
Balaam. Ah,
Oh,
yes.
Balaam.
Leanne Balaam. That's a director's name if I've ever heard one. You've got some cool shit happening today. What have you got going on today?
Yeah. I just released a film today.
After how long in the works? It was over a year?
So we started development on the film in August of 2018. We shot it in end of March 2019, and then we completely wrapped it by around July of 2019. Ever since then, we've had it screened, we've sent it around festival circuit, and now it's out there.
Can you give us like a synopsis of what the movie's about?
Sure, yeah. So the film is about these two parents that are coming to terms with devastating news about their son, and they're battling this guilt that they may have contributed to these devastating news. I won't try and spoil it, but everyone can go and find it now online on YouTube.
How many days did you shoot?
2 days.
You
2
shot the
days straight.
whole thing in 2 days?
That's
Yeah, we
pretty
shot
good.
it in 2 days. Yeah.
Is it a short?
Yeah, it's a 6-minute short film. We shot it in 2 days at an Airbnb in South London.
That is, dude, shorts. I remember the first time that I went to an aquarium store, and I was like, "Hey, I want to get a fish tank." And the guy, I'm going somewhere with this, and the guy said, "Okay." I said, "This will be my first tank, so probably want to start off small." He goes, "No, no, 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 no. You actually want to start off big, because the smaller the tank, this amount of problem in a big tank doesn't matter, but this amount of problem in a small tank can kill every fish." So when you have 6 pages, right, or 10 pages maybe, every shot has to count. You've got such a small budget to be able to do that on. Everything, every word of dialogue, every shot has to really matter, because there's not 90 to 120 minutes worth of material to carry you through. Some of the hardest things to accomplish are the novellas. It's like, that's why some of the best directors are commercial directors, because they have to sell a story in a second. They have 30 frames in order to sell that shot. That's it.
They're also the most innovative.
And they are the most innovative, because they have to be able to move so quickly and cover so much material, serve so many masters. So yeah, but the problem is you can get trapped doing commercials. Congratulations. That is a huge feat to be able to say that is out, and it's out today. So where can people watch it? YouTube.
On YouTube. That's the only platform we've released it on at the moment, and we're probably going to be just keeping it on YouTube for the time being. But if it changes, then there'll be updates on my social media there.
All right. And people can follow you. We're going to put the links in the description. Have we already done that?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yes, it will be there.
Damn.
I
Kick
said
ass.
confidently.
I don't know how to do that. They don't let me do
I
that.
did.
I can't play with sharp objects in social media. So,
But Leanne, cheers with your
yeah,
warm
dude.
coffee.
I'll cheers you with some coffee.
It's a bit late. It's a bit empty now,
Good
but
girl. Well done. What's your plan next? So now you've got this out. And how much of the process did you write, shoot, direct, edit?
no. So basically, because this was actually a student film.
Okay.
This was my. I was on a higher national diploma course, so it's about the first 2 years of your bachelor's degree.
Okay.
And it's a completely practical course. So part of our second year, we had to produce our own films and then direct someone else's film.
Ooh.
And we weren't allowed to write it. So that was going to be the challenge. So basically, I directed this film for my good friend Orlando Bryant. Basically, we started recruitment early in terms of who we wanted on the film, much earlier compared to other people. So he contacted me like in the middle of the summer to kind of go like, hey, I've got this film that I'm kind of working on, and I want you to direct it. And I was like, wait, what? You want me to do it? And he was like, yeah, like I trust you that you can really do this, so on. And because of that pressure of like, I need to make sure he's happy with this project and everything. Like I really poured myself into it and really dumped, kind of like dive straight into the deep end with the kind of whole film. So I was involved from around August in terms of conversations, and in terms of scripts, like it was being written and I was like looking over drafts and I kind of offered feedback just as the kind of director. But there was one thing that kind of came up in discussion when we were developing it. Another big film, kind of similar subject matter, came out, and it was quite big on British news. And it kind of forced us to try and change the script a bit. But I think it worked out for the better because for those who did manage to watch it earlier, basically the scenes were originally in chronological order. And then I, alongside the producer kind of and writer, he was the same person, were like, we need to change this up. So I kind of said, why don't we kind of change the actual order of the scenes and then change the kind of who the protagonists are and then see how the film kind of plays out. And I think a lot of the feedback that we got was it makes it so much better because we never really see this perspective. So I think that was probably like the best decision we ever really made
But
in
you
terms of the
found
development.
that not in shooting. You found that in
Right at
not
the
even
beginning.
the editing bay. You found that like once you had like here's our final, here's our print.
Yeah,
Dang,
so we
dude.
had the script originally, and then basically whilst it was being written, we were kind of handing scripts around like in the class and stuff and getting feedback amongst everybody. And because of the news that kind of came out, and knife crime has been quite a big thing in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and this story is also very personal to the producer. So we wanted to make sure that we got it right. And a lot of the feedback we kind of got back was like, it's good, but something's missing. And like when I was preparing, like I had to do like a full pitch in class anyways for directing the film. And a lot of the research that I was doing with knife crime films was they kept kind of showing the same typical kind of story, in terms of like it was always the kid who was getting in trouble and you're seeing it through his eyes and you're seeing the incident itself. And for me, because I have no experience with knife crime at all, I felt it would be wrong of me to try and portray it because I don't understand it. And I haven't kind of had a very personal relationship to something of that kind of subject matter. So I was kind of like, I don't want to glorify it for one. And also, I want people who have also experienced, kind of had some form of experience in relation to it, to be able to watch this film as well. And the last thing I want to do is traumatize them even more after what they've already been through.
Sure.
So that's why we kind of changed the order and we changed perspective, because it's not one that we normally see when we keep hearing the news about another kid that's been a victim of gang violence.
Well, I love any material, any artistic endeavor that is also birthed from a intention to bring awareness, or especially when it's something that's like not we see stuff in the news, but to humanize something like that, to me is always better. So it's not just something that we're scrolling past on our feed, but it's actually there's a person. Take 6 minutes out of your life and watch this. We're going to tweet it out. We'll put it up on our socials. Make sure that you're following Leanne as well. What is your social? It's Leanne.
It's at it's Leanne B on the socials, on both Instagram and Twitter.
If people want to check it out, it's
Yeah.
also in the description of this video.
Perfect. It's at it's Leanne B, 2 N's. Leanne, I'm curious. What do you have in mind? Oh, by the way, if you don't know what this is, I'm sure most people are, but if there's some people that are watching on YouTube, let me set up what this whole thing is. Saturdays we do our movie watching, and we have different threads of content throughout the week that you can find ways to engage with this community. Everything that we do is built upon 3 pillars. It's either going to be education, entertainment, or community. It's going to be all 3 of those things. There's times when we play games, and that's more geared towards entertainment, but it's also an element of community. There's education, to where we talk about like our writer's room that happens every Wednesday. We have Relator Reads, which is our book club that we have. There's all sorts of different threads for us to be able to find ways for you to not only discover your creative voice and how you are telling your story, and to do that en masse with other people. But then there's also just opportunities to hang and connect. This is one of our things that we've been doing now for, I don't even know how long, 3 months, 4 months, something like that. We call it Prompt. Prompt is a creative community event where we all come together as a community. A specific theme is chosen today. It'll be chosen by Leanne. The theme is presented, discussed for a little while so that we are very clear on what the theme is, what it not only means to Leanne, but then we turn it over to you. If you're watching on YouTube, we will kindly bid you farewell and challenge you to find a way to creatively express today's theme in some way. It could be anything. People have written poems, stories, songs, painted, interpretive dance, macaroni art, which still no one has ever done. I would love for someone to actually do that with macaroni art. But it's not about the typical ways of creating. Daisy Cakes, if you're not following her, oh my gosh, she's been doing this thing where she's used the prompt, the theme from Prompt, to inspire her to bake and come up with recipes that are reflective of this prompt. Last week, what Jessie came up with Pride, and she did this entire recipe that's based off that. Everyone has a different way that they're telling their story. We just simply want to show you that you have this creative voice inside of you. You are a storyteller, and all of us are telling our stories in different ways. Once that happens, if you're watching on YouTube, share that with us. Let us know how you chose to creatively express that theme. Add us on social, tell a friend, send a carrier pigeon, light the beacons, whatever you need to do. And then come back and join us here again Sunday, and we'll do it all over again. If you're part of our Rad Pack, which is part of our Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/TroyBaker. You can find out why we even have a Patreon. You can find out different ways that you can interact and engage with this community. All of you Rad Pack are going to join us here on the Zoom call afterwards, and then we'll break off into groups, and we'll have 30 minutes to creatively express what today's theme is, and then we'll all come back together right here on Zoom and discuss it. But first, Leanne, what is today's theme?
Okay, so just to give a bit of context before I kind of give the challenge, it is in relation to the film, and I told some of the guys this last night. And basically, around the time that I was making Left Behind and I was kind of working on it, I was going through my own battle with grief. I lost someone that was very close to me. And of course, you're kind of in that state, not only when you're trying to process what just happened, but also this mindset of like, if I knew this was gonna be the last time I'd see this person, like I should have said this or I shouldn't have done that. And this was the kind of angle that I was taking with the film. And even watching Indiana Jones last night, there's the moment with Indy and his father on the Zeppelin. And basically, Indy is indirectly asking his father, like, do you regret the way that you raised me? So with that, if I were to sum this up in one word, it would be the word regret. And the challenge that I have for everybody is to recall a period in your life where you may have felt a sense of regret, whether big or small, and express that creatively in whatever form kind of suits you. And with that, after kind of the 30 minutes in the case for Rad Pack, when we come and discuss it together, I encourage everyone to take a step back and just look at what you created and kind of share with us, if you were to travel back in time, TARDIS, DeLorean, whatever floats your boat, you were to travel back to that moment in time where you were feeling that sense of regret, what would you say to yourself? So that is my prompt.
Girl, you go hard. I love it. So the theme is regret. The challenge is if you could go back in time to that specific moment, what would you say to yourself? Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Wheels are spinning. Everybody clear? I'm jazzed. All right. There it is. YouTube. You have your challenge, or wherever you're watching this. I don't know. Someone may have ripped this off and you're watching this on a whoever social. I don't know how these things work. That is your theme. You have your challenge, and a good one placed before you. It's going to be a challenging one. And I think the best part is, as Callie showed us in her writing today as well, this is all about being able to she said she was cleaning out her closet and she found the skeletons. And sometimes it's best to be reminded of what we would say are the worst moments of our life. But actually, when we re-examine them, we find out that they are markers of our strength. So you have your challenge. Leanne, thank you so much. Please go follow her on Twitter. And also, we'll put the link up for the movie, the short Left Behind, that premieres today on YouTube. We would love for you to watch it. If you're in the Rad Pack, you're going to be back here with us very, very soon.
Right now.
Yeah, like by that would mean right now. The rest of you, stay safe. Have an amazing holiday. Be kind to each other. And most importantly, stay rad.